Okay, good morning, good morning. How are you, everyone? So I'm very curious, who's in Canada and who's not in Canada? Raise your hand if you are in Canada. Okay, we have few raised hands. Okay, those who are in Canada, how long have you been?
Yes, last month on December 26th, I have arrived to Canada. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
what month? Okay, yeah. And you, Jude?
I just came here last week.
Last week. Oh my God, you are, brand new.
Yeah.
Still in the box. And Ruth, how long have you been here?
I just got here last month on the 31st.
Okay. Aisha?
Yeah, hey, I just landed here on 17th December.
Oh, yeah, brand new. Okay. And how do you like it here?
It's great, actually. It's the first snowfall I've ever seen.
Oh,
So it's, yeah, good.
good. And you, Vinu?
Yeah, last night it was a great snowfall, the first snowfall I've seen last night.
How do you like
when-
it here?
Yeah, it's a little bit cold. It's something interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Yes, I visited Toronto downtown and seen some places in the earlier of the week.
Yes.
Just I visited, and yeah, it's good. And it's my international first visit. Just it's been cool, and it's been something more attractive.
Yes, I think one of the best things that we have here is the nature, and you can see it almost everywhere, even in big cities like Toronto. We still have, nice areas of forests, and they call it urban forests. So it's forest and nature is weaved in within our houses, around us, around the schools. And if you visit the campus on Dune or Cambridge, I'm not sure. I think, what's your campus? Your campus is Brampton or?
No, it's my Dune Valley. It's
Dune.
nearby. Yeah, I'm staying nearby 20 minutes away from Dune campus. Just
yeah, so we
just
have
past my house.
we have a lake, and we have very, very nice nature and forests. So this is really nice, and the air quality is great. I used to have asthma before coming to Canada, and since I came to Canada 15 years ago, I don't have any asthma anymore. I get asthma when I go back to Egypt to visit my family. The moment I leave the airport, I need my inhaler. Yeah, and also the water quality is very, very high. You can drink the water in the tap. It's very, very clean. So yeah, everything is clean. Yes. And it's very, very morning here, early in the morning. It's 7 a.m.
Yes,
For those who are in Canada, I know it's around 4 p.m. For those in India.
It's about
It's 5:30, Hanan.
5:45. Yes.
5:30.
Okay, 5:30, 6:30. So we have some time differences. Okay, yes, great. I see that many of you haven't switched off their camera yet. So again, I'm saying it out loud. If you don't switch on your cameras and you have your lovely face on the camera, I'm not going to consider you attending. Why? Because I don't have any way to verify that you are attending the class. And attending the class actually is very important. So what I will do, I will take a screenshot of everyone so we don't waste more time. you know, calling your names. Okay.
Should we post good?
Excuse me?
No, I just asked, should we post good to take the screenshot?
Yes, pose. yes, and have the biggest smile. The
Yeah,
biggest smile, yes. Okay, so I want to start with talking about how important this class. So I would like to know a little bit about your background. Who is working or have some work experience? Raise your hand if you have some work experience. Okay, we have few. Yes. Okay. Yeah, many of you have work experience. Okay, so I'm curious to know your background. So which field you are working in? You can see IT, manufacturing, engineering, accounting, something like this. Right in
IT.
the chat. Right in the chat.
Okay.
So let's see how many of you are from the same field. IT, banking, engineering, supply chain, engineering.
Hanan, your screen is frozen. I'm not sure whether others are also facing the same issue.
It's the same for everyone. The screen is gone now.
Maybe some technical problem.
I am so sorry for what happened. Suddenly my program switched off. And I cannot
You are
see.
back now, Hanan.
Okay, yes, perfect. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I was telling you that my background is mechanical engineering. I worked in manufacturing as a quality control engineer, and then I made a career shift to consulting. So I worked in quality management systems and environmental management systems. Then I moved to business consulting, change management, and of course, project management was part of my career as well. So analysis, believe it or not, I think my background is very, very diversified, and I was part of so many projects. And this is the beauty about project management, that you get involved in so many projects. So every project you learn something new. Degrees wise, I am a degree junkie. So with my bachelor degree, I have 2 masters. One of them is MBA. And I have certifications, of course, in quality management, in environmental management, in sustainability, in business analysis. And I think I will be learning more and more and accumulating more degrees and certifications. What else I want to tell you about myself? I'm a wife. I have 2 children. They are no longer children, actually, they are young men, 22 and 20, studying university. Okay, still joining us. And some people still with their cameras off. So I will take another screenshot later after a while and see who still have their cameras off. So let's plunge in. Let me share my screen. I have only 2 hours to stay to be with you. So one important thing I want to add is this class is actually one of the classes that you will actually use when you graduate. When I was young, studying so many disciplines, courses, topics that we studied, I never used again. But not the courses that you will take with me, and especially this one. I remember some students who worked, actually, they said how they were using some of the tools that we are using in this class, or some of the forms, or they had the opportunity to apply some of these concepts. And you will find that some of these concepts could be applied in almost everything, you know. Yes, there is a twist and some differences between a field and another. Quality assurance in IT might look different than quality assurance in manufacturing. Auditing and inspection might look different in a banking system than manufacturing, and so on. However, the umbrella of project planning, project scope, quality planning is the same and applicable. So I'm so happy to teach this, because I can tap into my experience, and I can give you some examples. And right now I know that all of you are working or have some work experience, and also you can share your experience. Okay, so today we will have an overview of the course and have a little bit of an introduction to scope and quality management. So some logistics. Of course, switching on your camera is important. I'm having another screenshot. So Daniel, your camera is still off. Anmol Deep, your camera is off. So please, okay, I don't want to waste more time in these trivial things. So please make sure that your camera is on, okay? So this is part of the logistics. Of course, be on time. What else? I will be recording all the classes. Participate, have fun. We will have lots of fun together. That's my plan. What else about the logistics? If I remember anything, I will let you know. Okay. This is our home. So eConestoga is our home. We are not using any other platform. In some other courses, we have other. No. We have other platforms that we are using. For this, we are only using eConestoga and Zoom. Of course, there is the part here. Okay, let me view it as a student, so we have the same view. Is this your first time using eConestoga or you used it before? Raise your hand if it is your first time. Okay, we have a couple. Okay. Okay, we have few using eConestoga for the first time. You will find the system easy to use, easy to navigate. It's not very much complicated. You are tech savvy, so I'm sure that you can navigate your way. So here we have the announcements. Usually I will post an announcement every week, giving you heads up what we are about to. Also, if there is something important, I will use the announcement. Also, I use announcement when I receive a question from a student, and I find that it will be beneficial for everyone to learn the answer to the question, or maybe it's something general to the to the class. So it's very good to share. So, and I believe you get alerts if I post a new announcement. So this is very good. Of course, we have here a link to our class, so it will be easy. Here the important dates, the weekly classes, the graded exercises, and everything important will be here on the calendar. The content, of course, you have also student support, and contact us if you have any problem, if you have any technical issue. So it's a handy dandy way to have access to IT. Here is all the contents. I will post the content week by week, and you can see your progress here. So I will be checking your progress as well. It's very, very important to keep on top of things. You are taking several courses at the same time. You might be balancing other areas in your life as well. And if you leave studying to the last minute, maybe you will not be able to get the good results that you are aiming and working for. We have the instructional plan. So the instructional plan is like our roadmap. It has the major dates, it has all the contents, my contact information. It has links to the handbook. I don't remember the handbook. I don't memorize your handbook. So if you have a question regarding the program, this is a very good place to find lots of answers. And if you come and ask me a question and I don't know, I will refer you to the handbook. So like my uncle used to say, read, then ask. How you will be evaluated? We have a midterm exam, 40%. We have 5 graded assignments, 20%, and we have a final exam, 40%. So this is a straightforward. Every week, these are the main concepts that we will be studying. If there are any preparation, of course, some weeks you will find that there are readings and optional readings. Actually, I advise you to do all the reading. The optional reading usually coming from the BIM book. If you are new to the project management field, you will find that there is a Bible we have for the profession. And the BIM book, or the project management body of knowledge, it's a publication issued by the Project Management Institute. And right now we are on the 7th edition, but we are still using the 6th edition because they haven't retired the 6th edition yet. And as I said, it's like the Bible for the profession. It's the common language that all project managers speak, all the terminologies. It's the best practice. You will find that most of the software and applications of project management are based on what's in the BIM book. So, and eventually at one point in your career, you will apply to get the certification from the BMI. So it will be very, very good to start reading the material before and giving yourself a long time to prepare for the exam. So I really encourage you to read the textbook. The textbook is nice, it's well written. There are many examples, many paragraphs to explain the concept. So this is good. And also the reading from the BIM book are important. The way I prepare for this material is that I start with the reading, the Krisner. And within Krisner, you will find that there are highlights or reference to the BIM book material. So I stop reading Krisner, I go read this part in the BIM book, and I come back to Krisner to continue my readings. So this is in a nutshell what we have here in the instructional plan. What else do we have? Of course, you have links to the e-text, and if you need support for whatever, I added here a link to a video talking about student engagement and how it is very important to your learning. Yes, you will have the grades. You are here for the grades. You are here for the certification, but learning is very important. Yes, Harini.
Hi, Hanan. Just one question. I just saw the ebook is in Textidium format. Do we have something in McGraw-Hill Connect?
No.
We have to follow Textidium, right? Hello? I think we lost her.
Yes, she went offline.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with my internet connection today. I don't think that we have a storm or anything. So we will keep trying, okay? So I'm sorry for this. So what was the last thing that you heard me saying?
No, I just want to ensure that the textbook we follow is in Textidium. That is the only thing I want.
Yes, we don't have the textbook on McGraw-Hill Connect, so it's the only format that we have. We have 5 graded exercises. Our first graded exercise will be due on the 29th. And most of the graded exercises are practical, either problems or situation. And you will put the project manager hat and you will work on whatever is required for this. It's very important not to use any unauthorized websites. So there are websites that have some answers for the questions that we are asking. We are not reinventing the wheel, so we are using some of the questions from question banks. It will show, if you used these websites, it will show we can detect it, and it's not fair. It's not fair for everyone who are working, and it's not fair to assume that you will get the grades if you just copied from any unauthorized source. Only one submission is permitted, so make sure that you submit the right file. It happened before that students submitted the wrong file, or maybe the original file they got I am very sorry. I am having some trouble with my connection. The problem that I am in the office, I'm not at home, so I have to use their Wi-Fi. So, so let's go back and catch up where we were we. Okay, I was talking about what?
Exercise, graded exercise one.
Yeah, the graded exercises, yes. Hopefully nothing will happen again. So. Yeah, so as I said, only one submission is permitted. No resubmission is allowed, and this is to give everyone the same chance. If I will allow someone to resubmit, I have to allow everyone to resubmit. And as I said in my introduction on e-Conestoga, I'm fun, I'm friendly, but at the same time, I'm fair and I'm firm. I'm trying to be fair to everyone. Okay, so make sure that it is your work. Make sure that you reference your sources according to the APA style. So you can check the website on e-Conestoga for the APA style guide. It's a pretty good or a project coordinator. So it's very important to do these things yourself and practice these things yourself. What else I want to say about this? As I said, every week I will post some presentations here. You will find that the presentation posted here is somehow different than the presentation I'm using, because these are the standard presentation that is used by all other instructors. So I will use a different one. So tonight I will add another section for my presentations and the recording. So it will be, you know, an easy, convenient reference for you. So these are all our graded exercises. This is all our material. What else? Yeah, here is the course schedule, so it will show you everything, the course information and everything. So yeah, class expectation, I talked a lot about this. So now you know that you have to switch your camera, be on time, participate, and the workshops are mandatory. And these are the units that we will cover. So we will talk about project planning, scope planning, scope management, quality planning, and quality management. So these are the main two sections of our program, scope and quality. These are our
Did we lose her again?
Yes,
Yes.
we did.
And in between also this thing happened. Na? She was speaking something and it stopped and she started speaking again.
Yes, what she
Yeah.
was saying that she's at office and she might be using office Wi-Fi, so she has a connection problem.
Yeah, that is understood, but I'm not sure whether she is aware that she's getting disconnected in the middle and coming
Yes,
back
yes,
again.
yes. That's what happened.
Yeah, maybe
she was explaining
sometimes,
something and she went.
She
yeah,
went
maybe
back
sometimes
and
having
come.
internet
She
issues.
continued as it is.
She's back now.
Yeah.
It's a part of
Hi, Professor. I think she's back.
Hanan, if you're speaking, you're on
You
mute.
are on mute.
okay. I will try to have a hotspot through my cell phone. Usually we have a very strong connection. I'm not sure why it's happening. So if it happens again, I will have a hotspot or something through my phone. So I was asking you, what is a project? So let's see, right here, or maybe raise your hand and let's discuss what is a project. Yes, Jaya.
A project is something that's a temporary endeavor. It has a start and a finish.
Yes. Okay, so it's temporary, it has a start, it has a finish date. What else? Yes, Harini.
It's a planned activity which involves input from so many people, and
Plan,
as a
inputs from
yeah,
so many people. Mhm.
and it's a collaborative thing that anything which gains which gives and gains something in back is also a project, like a business as well.
Yes, okay. What else? What else? What are the characteristics? Okay, yes, Deep.
So it has a valuable outcome. So every effort leads to a constructive result.
Okay, I think you mean unique output.
Yeah.
Because at work, ideally, all outputs should be valuable outputs. But here, for a project, it has a unique result or output. Aisha said project is based on goal, scope, and objective. Yes, there is a specific objective for a project, and of course, it has a scope. And we will talk in detail about what is a scope. So here is a project. It's a temporary endeavor undertaking to create a unique product or service or result. On the other hand, operations are work done to sustain the business. So let's reflect on our own lives. So every morning I woke up, I clean my teeth, I brush my teeth, I cook my breakfast, I eat my breakfast, and I dress up and I go to work. So these activities, are they projects or operations?
Operations.
Operations, yes, because every day I do it, so it's not temporary. It doesn't have a unique result because I get the same result every day. It doesn't have a start date and end date. I should ideally, brush my teeth every day. However, if I am doing renovation in my house, is this a project or operations?
It's a project because you do it for a temporary and for a particular scope to get a desired output.
Yes, yes. So I want, let's have our first exercise to experiment with in-class exercises. So I will divide you into groups, and I want you to come up with examples, 3 examples of a project. It could be from your previous work or current work or personal life or something happening in the town or the city you are in. So have you experienced breakout rooms before?
Yes, Professor, we have.
Okay, some of you have the experience of this, some are new. So let's go to our breakout rooms, and we are 27, so let's have, what, 6 rooms?
Yeah. Professor, we lost you again, I guess. Is it so? Is it me or everyone else?
No,
No, it's
for everyone. For everyone.
For everyone.
Okay, I'm back, and I failed to have a hotspot. I don't know, it couldn't see my cell phone. So okay, let's save this a group exercise for later, but let's have 3 examples of projects that you have in mind. You can share a personal project or a project that you were part of. So we have here to open a startup. Yes, that's a project. Mobile app development. Yes, creation of a software. In hospitality management. Yes. Road project. Organizing wardrobe. Yeah, I love this one. Bank audit. Okay. Bank audit, is it something that you do on regular basis, or is it, why did you consider bank audit a project? So whoever added this bank audit, why did you consider bank audit as a project? Shana.
Yes, hi. I answered that in the chat box that it require 1 month of time in the end of the year, financial year, and my sir allowed me as a my sir create a team, and he allowed me the position of a leader in that team to manage the my junior assistants, and we complete it in a 1 month. So I consider it as a project.
So it's something temporary. It has a unique result because you will have the audit report, start, end, and you don't do this on regular basis. You don't sustain the business through this. Yes, event. Yeah, thank you so much. We have wedding planning. We have automation of a manual process, food ingredient supply, development of commercial advertisement. Yes, in marketing and business development, we work on marketing campaigns. So this could be a project. Office for major changes, maybe renovation, rescue missions. Yes. Mining and quarrying. No. Why do you think mining and quarrying is a project? Shreyas.
So I thought, mining and quarrying these are like, very big project. It cannot happen in 1 or 2 months. So I think, it considered as a project because they'll have to find the different places. So I thought that can be an example of a project. It can be any mining or any quarrying. So they would have some managers who can handle the entire project. So I thought that would be an example for project management.
Well, you said something very important. You said you cannot do it in 1 or 2 months. Actually, the time span is not one of the criteria to consider if this is a project or not. Some projects might be 1 day. Some projects might be 1 month. Some projects might be years. Even for example, the pyramid. The Great Pyramid of Giza, they spent 20 years building this pyramid, but we can consider it a project. Why? Because it has a unique result. It has a start date. It has a finish date. It has plans, but at the same time, planning for a family dinner might take a couple of hours, you know, or one day. It's still a project. Yeah, so the time is not the issue here. A festival organized by a city for religious reasons. Yeah, even here in Canada, we have festivals by the cities and they are not religious. It's the idea of a festival. So you have a unique result and you are planning for this. So these are very, very wonderful examples of projects. So to consider a project, you can ask this question. Does it have a unique purpose or a unique result? Is it temporary? Is it developed using iteration or elaboration? Of course, what are the resources needed? Usually from different resources. Yeah, maintenance of home or building. Okay, we have this suggestion, maintenance of a home or building. Is it a project or operation? Who said these are projects? Maintenance of home or building. Who said
I think it's an operation.
Operations. Who agrees that maintenance are operations? Yes, Jaya. Yes, Vinu. Yes. Yes, these are operations. These are not projects. It has no unique result. We do this as part of a bigger plan, a continuous plan. That's why I was so reluctant to consider the banking audit as a project. Yes, it's done only 1 month at the end of the year, but we do this every year. So it might be a routine work, but not as frequent as other operations, but it's still an operation. What could be considered a project within the financial sector, for example, if we are implementing a new software, this is a project. Or we are creating audit policies and procedures. So the creation of the process is a project, but the process itself is part of the operations. Okay, yes, Anthony said our life itself is a project which needs planning and has many stages. Well, I think we live our life in a mix of projects and operations. So yes, we have stages, but within these stages we have operations that we do a lot. Here is another key word in project management: project sponsor. Most of the time you will have project sponsor, project stakeholders, sometimes a project champion. And one also important thing is uncertainty. Uncertainty is great factor in project management. We are planning something that will happen in the future. There are so many parameters, and there is a varying degree of uncertainties involved in the tasks and the activities that we do in this project. So these are examples. We came up with so many examples. You can read more about this. And each project have a life cycle. Because it has a start date, an end date, so there are certain phases that we go through. So we start here, and you can see here cost and staffing level. So the more we progress in the project, the more we spend money, and also the more resources we use. So we start with the starting. So we have, you know, the phase of initiating the project, taking the decision to do this project. Let's get married. Let's organize for our wedding ceremony. So this is initiation. So we are starting the project. We are planning for the project. And we create what is called project charter. And we will see examples of project charters after I finish this. Then we do lots and lots of planning. We plan for quality, we plan for the scope, we plan for risks, we plan for the resources. And we organize and prepare and we do all these things, and we spend more money and we involve more resources. Then we use the project management plan, which is a big plan, includes other plans, to execute the work, do the actual work that we plan for. And we spend more money and we get more resources. And once we are finalizing the project, we have to close the project. So we check if the deliverables are acceptable or not. We check if we did all the work or something is missing. And we close also the contracts. For example, if we have contracts from with some contractors or subcontractors or suppliers, so we do this. And the last thing is to archive everything. So we finished everything, so we archive everything. And while we are doing the project, there are certain constraints. So what are the constraints that limit you when you are managing your project? Budget, resources, time. What else?
The quality.
Quality, yes. Not having clear scope. Okay, scope. So scope is a constraint. Scope is actually, in a simple words, is what we are going to do. Budget, yes. Scope, again, yes. Labor is part of the resources. Staffing is part of the resources. So resources. Lack of confidence. Okay, so this is uncertainty, and uncertainty is related to risk. So let's see together. Distribution, what do you mean by distribution? Shreyas.
So that's a part of a project, any product which is the finalized goods. When we ship it, the distribution.
Okay, so you are talking about a particular project. Now, when we are studying project management, we study, you know, the broader picture that we can apply, you know, on any project. So distribution, let's see where they are in the constraints. So in the constraints, we have three main constraints. Scope, what we will do. Schedule, how long will it take. Budget, how much it will cost. So these are the three main constraints. And we have other constraints. So to do this scope within this time, we have some constraints related to quality. Okay, what's the camera angle? Okay. I'm not sure about the camera angle, but it's okay. I want you to focus on the presentation. Okay, laws and regulations. Let's see where we can have this. Allocation of resources, yes. So these are the three main constraints: scope, schedule, and budget. What we are going to do, this is the scope. When or how long will it take? This is the schedule or time. And budget, how much will it cost? Within these three constraints, we have another three constraints. So we have quality. So at what quality? If I want to increase the quality, I'm changing the scope, or I need more time, or I will pay more money. Resources. I will come to you and we are building or making some renovations in the office. So I will tell you, okay, we want to fix the plumbing, we want to fix the electricity, and we want to paint the office, and maybe some furniture to be changed. So this is the scope. How long will it take? We will do it within a week. You will say, okay, if you want me to do it within a week, you have to give me a bigger budget. No, I don't have a budget that you are requiring. So either you take some elements of the scope, or you give me more time, or we can play a lower quality standards. And if we do this, this might increase the risks of having something goes wrong, because the uncertainty goes higher. Or we need more resources, give me more people. So these are the 6 constraints of a project. These constraints could be applied on any project. So let me go back to the chat. Who said distribution? Who said distribution?
I did.
Raya, yes. So after seeing these constraints, where you can put distribution?
So after quality, we decided how much risk the project has to be, and we find the right resources. So I think after the resources, whether the service distribution or the goods distribution comes in.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, distribution is not part of
operation.
Do you have a start date and end date?
Not all the projects would have a start and end date.
No.
But I thought some projects.
No. To be considered a project, it has to have a start date and end date. It's a temporary endeavor. I will do this once.
Yes. So the distribution comes as a continuous, thing. So it will not come under project.
No, it could be part of your operations, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
You
can be a temporary.
might have a project that use resources from different departments, but if it has a unique purpose, think of this example. A company that I usually use as an example is HelloFresh. So HelloFresh is food subscription a company, and they will send you every week a box full of ingredients, and you cook the ingredients at home. Okay, so suppose we are working for HelloFresh, and there is a project to implement a new tracking system for our boxes. So who will be, okay, I don't want this. How I get rid of this? Okay, yeah. So we might involve distribution, we might involve logistics, we might involve the IT department, we might involve, okay, no, I don't want to log in. I want the photos. We might involve operations, we might involve all the departments actually of the company, but the purpose itself is a unique purpose. We are implementing a new application or a new software. Yes. So yes, distribution is operations, logistics, yes. So it's very important for you to differentiate between operations and projects, because the way you manage operations is different than the way you manage projects. Okay?
All right.
So these are the 6 constraints. So let's use an exercise here. I want you to think of, let's use the festival, okay, in your city. So you are part of a committee and you are working on a festival in your city. Even in North America, we have festivals. For example, a festival here in Canada, they call it the Maple Syrup Festival, okay? Because here we have lots of maple trees, and there is a specific time to harvest the maple syrup. It looks like honey, but it has a unique taste. When you come to Canada, you will taste it. Some people don't like it. I love it. My husband and my son, they don't like it. Myself and my other son, we love it. So the city you are in will organize a maple syrup festival for 1 week. So let's go into our breakout rooms, and I want you to think of the constraints of this project and give me some examples of what will be included under scope, what will be included under schedule, what will be included under budget, risks, resources. So I will give you like 15 minutes to do this, and don't forget to write down your answers. Okay, so let's go into 6 rooms. And you join your room and have discussion and write down some points regarding the constraints. Okay? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, how was your discussion?
It's good.
It was
It's good.
healthy.
It was healthy. It's good.
Okay, okay. I'm so eager to see your insights regarding the constraints of the project. So let's start quickly with group 1. So would you like to share your screen?
For screen,
Yep.
I have noted down all the points in my phone, Hanan. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Okay, you know what? I can open a Word document, okay,
Okay.
and write down quickly.
Otherwise, I can put all my points in this chat. Is that okay? Can you guys hear me? I think we lost her.
Yeah,
I think we lost her.
yeah, Aishwarya, you go ahead and put it in the chat. We will see what our professor comes back and says.
Yeah, she's back.
Yeah.
I'm here, yes, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. Usually the internet is very good and stable. But today it's acting crazy. And I couldn't do this hotspot thing. So what are the constraints?
Okay, so Hanan, this is Aishwarya and I will be briefing what we discussed as part of a team. So to begin with, I'll schedule the quality of the product. So we the constraints based on the quality, it's all about the event, the quality of the event or the product we sell, that is the maple syrup, or the resources. It's all about the event. The whole event should be smooth, and we should be able to sell the product in a proper way. The quality of the entire event.
Okay, so the quality, you thought of the quality of the products that you will sell.
Product as well as the event and how it's going well. Entire event.
How will the event, activities, for example,
Yes.
activities will go. Okay.
Okay. What else? Product reason and about the resources, the quality of the resources.
Resources.
And no, the resources will come under the quality. It's not a construct.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So what about resources?
Okay, resources. We discussed about a festival committee, organization, volunteers, location, location as well as the product.
Yep. What else?
Yeah, that's it. Moving to the risks.
To what?
Risk.
Risk. Okay.
Yes. So the environmental factors.
The what?
Environmental factors. Can you hear me? Crowd control. The security of each people. Security. Crowd control. Okay, yeah. And environmental awareness or factors.
Environmental.
Factors. Environmental factors, yes.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Moving to quality, resources, risks. Okay, moving to scope. So it's all about documenting preparing and documenting the entire event, the cost, risks, and the deadlines.
The plans.
Yes.
Okay.
Event and the plan. Documenting the cost, risks, and deadlines.
The cost, risks,
and the deadlines.
and what?
Deadline.
Declines?
Deadlines.
Date?
Deadlines.
Okay, deadlines. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That's about the scope, quality. Okay. And moving to schedule. The duration of the entire event and the individual events.
Let's say activities.
Activities, yes.
Okay.
Then, and finally, the budget.
Okay.
Budget, pre-plan to organize the event. Pre-plan to organize the event and the sponsors. I think I covered everything. Hanan, yeah, Hanan, you have put resources along with the first point. Can you make a separate one? Yeah, the resources, the third point. Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Okay. So this is group 1. Group 2. Would you please share with us? I want to take few of you your points before I comment on these. So group 2. Who is in group 2?
I think we were in group 2.
Yeah, we all were in group 2.
Yes. So I made a couple of points about, to a successful project, festival project. So first, what we thought in quality, so the planning the event.
Did you write down? Did you write down?
Yes. Let me share you the screen. I just made some points. Can you see them?
Okay. So please walk us through this.
So the first is planning the event, and then you need to find the project sponsors, and you need to find the right budget to the project, and then you need to build a team for that particular event, and then you'll have to do a marketing and advertising for people to come in. So I thought these comes in scope and quality, and schedules are important. So event timings and the venue place, and finding vendors in the festival, and staffing and security. So risk is security and also collecting weather forecast information before you run the festival, so you would know, you would take an initiative to know the security before you could, start the festival. And these are the points we made.
Yeah, I
So
would just like to add in the risk, it's also about the like fire. We need to keep that also in the constraint if there is
Okay,
any
can you
fire
write it
hazardous or
down?
anything.
Can you write it
yes,
down? Yeah.
yeah.
And also we need to have the plan if any children are attending the event. So for them, there's a risk if the event is on a larger scale, then there's the risk for the children as well.
So they
So, yeah.
get lost or something.
Yeah, and even if there's another risk is if we are using any instruments and if they fail for the maple syrup, so there's also a risk that we need to keep in the mind for the production and the equipments.
So security check, I could mention it as.
Yeah, security for the equipments.
Okay, thank you so much. You may stop sharing your screen. I don't think we will have enough time to go through the everyone's inputs. However, let me tell you where to start. You can see that you started from quality, you started from resources, or whatever. You start with the three main constraints. What we will do, how long will it take to do it, and what's the budget allocated for this? These are our three starting points. So the scope here, am I sharing my screen? No. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So we start with the big pieces first. So we start with the scope, what we will be doing, what we will do, how long will it take to do it, and what is the budget. So the scope is, organizing a maple syrup festival in, for example, the Almira countryside, in this farm, in this specific farm. So we have the venue. For how many visitors? For how long? For 3 days, a 3 days festival. We expect 5,000 visitors a day. We are still in the scope, What's the schedule? We will do this project. So the festival will take 3 days, but the project itself will take 1 month. So let's say the festival will be on the 11th of February, and we will start today. And the event will be 9, 10, and 11. And we go backward, and we call this backward planning. So for example, on the 8th, the venue will be ready. So all the installation will be ready of the tents, for example, or a sales booth will be ready. By the 7th, we will have all our sponsors. So we need to work with the sponsors from day one. So we send emails to potential local businesses. So see how I am thinking. No what? Varun, no. So this is the scope, what we will do, how the schedule, how long will it take? 1 month, and we take step by step. What we will do, What are the tasks? What are the activities? Sorry, the tasks, no, the activities will keep this for the festival, but the tasks will refer to what we will do in this. And what is the budget? So where we get the budget? There are different ways to get the budget. Either it is allocated by the top management. So the city comes and say, okay, we have $30,000 allocated for this festival. Or we do backward budgeting. So we calculate how much will it cost for all the tasks. And we say to the city, by the way, we need $40,000. So we need to know the budget because it's a constraint. For example, if my calculation is $40,000 and I will talk to the city, we need $40,000, and they say, no, we have only $30,000 allocated. We can say, okay, how I can cut $10,000 from my budget, the calculated budget. And I say, okay, I will not offer these services, I will not include these elements, and so on. Then we go to the other three, the quality. So the tents should be sturdy. It's not only the quality of the items that I use, it's also the quality of the execution of the activities that we will do and the tasks. What are the resources? Some of you mentioned volunteers, some of you mentioned a committee, teams. Maybe the sponsors will be allocating some of their resources as well. Then risks. You talked about environmental factors. You talked about fire hazards. You talked about first aid, security, crowd management, all of these. But my main point here is that we always start with the scope. The scope is the king here. We start with the scope, what we are going to do. Then we can build our schedule. Then we can do our budgeting or revise our budgeting. Then we can think of the other constraints. So in project management, we have certain areas, and these are coming directly from the BIM book. That's why I'm telling you, reading the BIM book is important. So we have scope management, we have time management, cost management, resource management, communication, quality, procurement, what we are going to buy, risk management, stakeholder management. And then we use project integration so we can integrate all these elements together. And as a project manager, you should know these knowledge areas. And you should learn about these knowledge areas. So what are the project phases? We talked about project phases earlier. I talked about the initiation. And then initiation is, getting the green light to do the project. We do the business plan, we do the business case, we do benefit analysis. What is the benefit of this project? And then we go into the next phase is the planning. And planning will include different processes that we will use and different tools that we will use. Then we will go executing and closing. And throughout the project, we will do monitoring and controlling. I am monitoring what I am doing. I'm not waiting until the last minute. And I will say, okay, did we manage to accomplish what we wanted to accomplish? No, I will have these checks and milestones. And whenever I finish a phase, I will close this phase and I will check. So we have monitoring and controlling all over the time of the project. And here we have how these are all three connected. So we have the project life cycle, starting the project, organizing and preparing for the project or the planning, carrying out the work, and ending the project. And I use the different process groups throughout the life cycle. And I apply the knowledge areas, what I learn about the different knowledge areas, again, throughout the process groups, which feeds the project life cycle. And I use what is called phase gate. So this is part of the monitoring and controlling and integration as well. So whenever I finish a phase, I have a checkpoint and I see how I finished this. And you can see this is what we call the formal methodologies or the waterfall methodology. It means that I go to a phase and then I finish it completely, and then I go to the next phase and the next phase. You can see this, for example, in construction. In construction, we have to close the phase completely before I go to the next phase. But in the IT sector, for example, I cannot do this. That's why we have Agile, we have Scrum, we have iterative approach. So it means that I go into the phase and there might be some overlap between phases, and I go backward to change something, and then I move forward again. And I go back to check something or to change something, and so on. So planning is very important in project management. And actually they say good planning separates a good project manager from a bad project manager, or good planning separates a good project management from a bad project management. So we need to plan for the planning. So if I'm going to plan, I will think, okay, what is the time allocated for planning? What are the tools that I need? Who are the people I need to involve in the planning? And the goal of the planning phase is actually to create effective plans so I can implement it. And the more I improve my planning, I can improve my execution. I will not have these hiccups and challenges along the way when I'm planning. So planning is not wasting time. Planning is very crucial and essential. And there is a famous saying, who fails to plan to fail. And whenever we organize our planning process, the planning process will be more effective. And why we need this, emphasis on planning? Because the environment in the market or within our organizations are not perfect. We come across so many challenges, so many uncertainties. And right now, we don't have this waterfall planning, the old methodologies, the formal methodologies that we execute the project in phases. So we have somehow more flexible approach. So I will do my best to create the best plans. However, the project management plans are like living documents because we always change it, we always add to it. The more information we get, you know, the more accurate estimate I can get. So that's why planning is very, very important. Some typical problems that we might face, especially while planning, okay? So we might not have an agreement among stakeholders, different agendas, different objectives, different goals. So this will add some challenge, you know, and difficulty in the planning process. When we have rigid objectives, so maybe the priorities will change, the circumstances will change. Maybe we have a project, for example, in construction, before the pandemic, we had a plan for a construction. But when the pandemic hit, companies had to close the sites. Companies had to limit the personnel or the people on the site. So work had to delay. Maybe deadlines are changing. So if we have rigid objectives, we cannot accommodate changes. Also, when we don't have enough time for planning. So a project like building the pyramid, it took 20 years to build. Can you plan a project of this scale in 1 month? The planning for the project actually took few years, not few years. There are some estimates from 5 to 10 years planning for a 20 years project. Also in you know, our urban planning, you will find that it takes 5 years to create a 20 years plan. So we need time to do the planning. Also, we need qualifications. You know, planners are highly qualified individuals. We might need a mix of skills. So we have a specific team for planning. Also, some of the problems are related to documentation. And in project management, we do lots and lots of documentation. So if we don't document it, this piece of information will be lost. We cannot remember everything. Would you please switch on switch off your mics? Yeah. So documentation is very important. It's tedious. It's I hate it. That's why when I'm working on a project, I make sure that I hire a project coordinator or a project assistant or admin assistant, so they take care of the admin part and the documentation part. And actually, this is a very good starting point in your careers if you are looking for a job. These careers in administration can help you go into a project management. Client and project team efforts are not coordinated. So we have our project team and we have client representatives. So we have mismatch, or we don't coordinate communication, or there are lack of communication. So we don't know exactly what the client need. Also, high personnel turnover is one of the obstacles that we might face. So whenever we reach a point in the planning, someone leaves the team and someone new join the team, and some information are lost, some effort is lost. We need to reacclimate the new member to the team. So this is something also might add problems to the planning. And by the end, we create a project plan. So the project management plan is actually a big document. It's not a small document, and it will include different documents. And it is a formal document. It has to be approved because you will implement what's in it. It could be detailed, it could be high level. It depends on how complex is the project. The project plan itself could be simple and could be very, very complex. We use the project management plan to execute, to know how we will execute the project, how we will monitor the project and control it, how the stakeholders will communicate. Also, this is very important, and one of the most important terminologies in project management, baseline. We have schedule baseline, we have scope baseline, we have budget baseline or cost baseline. So these are the minimum requirements in these areas. And the baseline is important because we compare what we are doing to the baseline. Sometimes I am ahead. Sometimes I'm over budget. Sometimes I'm behind when it comes to the scope. So these baselines are very important. And as I said, the project management plan includes other plans. So we have communication plan, we have risk management plan, we have quality management plan. So we have other plans. And here is what we have in project management. So as a project manager, you will be doing this. You will start with the scope. You will analyze the requirements, the cost, the quality, the human resources, communication, stakeholders. So who are involved with this project? Risks associated with the project and your contingency plans. How will you deal with the risks? Procurement, what will you buy? What are the services? What are the things that you will outsource? The processes and the baselines, the scope and the schedule and the cost. So your project management plan will have all these sections. That's why it could be a very complex and sophisticated document. So what is project scope management? What we are going to study? Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, okay. We will continue next week. I will see you next week. Thank you so much. Yes, Harini?
Whether the introduction to project management is a continuation of this class or that is a separate one to join?
The what?
Introduction to project management. Theory
Oh,
one
no,
is the
I
next
think
class.
I think it's a separate class. But because everything is about project management, so there are a lot of repetitions.
All right,
And
then
it's
I
good.
think,
Yeah.
we have another class.
Yes, you have another class. So thank you so much. I will be posting the recording and the slides. And next week, I will start where we ended, okay?
All right, Professor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Bye-bye,
Hanan.
everyone.
Thank you. See you next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.